Said Ismail, surname Darby the Sacrifice, whose self-appointed task, which he prided himself, was to sweep the approaches of the house in which Baha'u'llah was dwelling, unwinding his green turban, the ensign of his holy lineage, from his head. And at the hour of dawn, gather up with infinite patience the rubbles which the footstep of his beloved had trodden, and blow the dust of the grannies of the walls adjacent to the door of that house. Collect the sweeping in a fold of his own cloak, and scorning that he will cast his burden for the feet of others to tread upon, and would carry it as far as the banks of the rivers and throw it into its waters. Unable at large to contain the ocean of love that surged within his soul, and rendering for the last time the service he really loved. And after having denied himself for 40 days both sleep and sustenance, betook himself one day to the banks of the rivers in the road to Cassimane, performed his ablution, lay down on his back with his face facing Baghdad, sever his throat with a razor, and place the razor upon his breast and expire. Captain von Kummon, an Austrian that worked as an officer in the court of the Shah, wrote to his friends in Austria, describing the atrocities and the cruelty made out to the Babis. He said, "My friends, come with me and eat without sauce." I asked my colleague at work, what is the expression of eating without sauce meant in Austria? And he said in Austria, they eat everything with sauce. So if you eat something without sauce, it will be tasteless. Come and eat with me without sauce. The cruelty made out to these people. Gouge out eyes, decapitated ears, rip out teeth with unhuman cruelty and violence. Crush skull with a hammer. They dig deep holes on their breast and shoulders and insert burning wicks into this wound and drag them by chain to the street, preceded by the military band. The burning wick burns deep into the flesh, and now the fat flicker convulsively like a new extinguished lamp. They skin the sole of their feet, and they soak the wound with the boiling oil, and they shoe the feet like the hoof of a horse, and compel the victim to run. Though the spirit is strong and endure, the body crumble, and they fall. And the executioner whip them, strike them with his whip, and they struggle to get up and run. There's no sound from them. They endure in dead silence. This is the beginning of the end, and of the end itself. They hang them to a tree upside down, and every Persian may try its marksmanship to the heart of this noble quarry in their disposal. Captain von Kuman was so traumatized that he tendered his resignation from his job, and he refused to go out again so that he might be seeing these atrocities again. Now behold us tribute to the mother of Ashraf. In his gleanings, he said, "Call thou to mind the behavior of Ashraf's mother, whose son laid down his life in the land of Sanjan. When the infidels so unjustly decided to put him to death, they sent and fetched his mother, that perchance she might counsel him and advise him and admonish him and induce him to recant his faith and follow in the footsteps of them who have repudiated the truth of God, the Lord of all worlds." No sooner did she behold the face of her son than she spoke to him such words as caused the hearts of the lovers of God, and beyond them those in a concourse on high, to cry out and be sore pained with grief. Truly, thy Lord knoweth what my tongue speaketh. He himself beareth witness to my words. And when addressing him, she said, "My son, mine own son, fail not to offer up thyself in the path of thy Lord. Beware that thou betrayed not thy faith in him, before whose face bow down in adoration all who are in heavens and all who are on the earth. Go thou straight on, O my son, and persevere in the path of the Lord thy God. Haste thee to attain the presence of him who is the well-beloved of all worlds. On her be my blessings, are the loving counsels of His Holiness Baha'u'llah, and my mercy, and my praise, and my glory, I myself shall attain for the loss of his Son, a Son who now dwelleth within the tabernacle of my majesty and glory, and whose face beameth with a light that envelop with its radiance the maids of heavens in their celestial chamber, and beyond them the inmates of my paradise, and the denizens of the cities of holiness. Were any eye to gaze upon his face, he would exclaim, Lo, this is no other than a noble angel. While she looks on, with eyes undimmed with tears, they beheaded his Son. Thank you, and I wish you well. Whafteilava, manuela whafongfong maimla, whasausaunga sa mo, soifua.